It is air energy that is not only the great equalizer, but if you think about like the chakras, for those people who are familiar with the energy centers of the body, it is the lower chakras that connect us to the earth, right? They connect us to our physicalness. But the energy, what's called Kundalini energy, it has to rise through our heart, right? The center of love in our body, in order to come to the higher chakras, which are chakras of communication. That's air, right? Chakras of thought. That's air. And so it is the pain and the traumas we've had, the past and our link to the past, that is held in the lower chakras, that is held in the physical self. But it is that air energy that raises the Kundalini, and it's our intention that allows it to raise. And you know, what's interesting is this is how therapy works. This is why therapy is a hugely transformative thing in the lives of millions of people. Because what you do is you take what you have felt and what you have experienced, the lower chakras, you raise it to the intellect, you give it voice, and then it comes back around, because it's a cycle, but it's different when it comes back around. You understand it differently, and it changes the way that you feel, the way that you move through the earth, the way that you are in your own body. It changes.
Making me think of something
psychological work
here. Sorry? You're making me think of something interesting in relation to the order of the zodiac signs with this, because I love what you're saying, that from the lower chakras of earth to the high chakras, but then we have all this in between. Which I think, you know, if the lower chakra is earth, the higher is air, like where's the fire and the water? Really in the heart?
It's on the way.
Sacral. It's But the order of the zodiac signs goes fire to earth to air to water. So earth goes straight to air and skips the fire and the water.
Isn't that interesting? So the fire is the spark, right? The fire starts it. And fire is like really the breath of life. Well, look, fire is the will to live, right? And so, and there is a certain physicality to it in and of itself, because fire, you know, you think about the gift of fire that we have as human beings, and how there are anthropologists who sort of theorize that it was the introduction of fire that allowed, I think that we had these ancient ancestors, pre-Homo sapien, who were, I think they were Neanderthal, and the Homo sapiens developed fire, and that's why they ended up surviving, and we are the descendants of those early humans. But the ones who didn't develop fire, that stream of creation, it ended up dying out. And so there is that connection to survival, right? The will of life that happens with fire. But then very quickly we become embodied, if we look at it from the perspective of the signs. And then very quickly we start thinking about it.
We get into our heads. I was thinking in the 2020s, we do have some water and fire that we should also look at, you know, because we're going to have Pluto and Saturn and Uranus and Gemini soon. I mean, and Aquarius and Gemini